Welcome to the latest episode, and today's episode number 79. Cut to the chase, in person, in the flesh, with the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Davis. Let's talk changing strategy throughout the campaign. It happens all the time. You start with auction, you move throughout the auction to something else, or you might start with PBN and move to auction. So there is pros and cons. And look, we are open to everything, and it's really to deal with how is the vendor responding to the campaign? Are they under stress? Is the campaign not working? What are the risks of changing throughout the campaign? And here's what we're going to give you our thoughts, because you probably see it more than anyone else doing a lot of auction. And in this market, call it for what it is, or there is no one coming to the property. Shall we cancel the auction?
All the time, right? And what I'm seeing is people don't have the courage to change and change fast, because they think, I spoke to the client and said we're going with this strategy. And after a week, if it's not working, then you've got to have the courage to change the strategy and get the vendor involved in the decision. We say it all the time, don't we? Your home, your house, you make all the decisions, but these are our suggestions. See, I had an auction on the weekend where people, 1 week into the campaign were like, we want to cancel it. What's the point? And that classic cliche, on the weekend, we found the buyer who turned up to the open home. 10 minutes later, their father, who was mowing the lawns around the corner, turned up. He gave another 20 grand and they bought it cash unconditional. But we've also, Diego, recently had auction campaigns after a week. We've gone, you know what? The vendor's under too much stress. No one's going through. We're going to change it up. And if you're going to change it up, though, don't be I can't say better language, don't be soft and go with PBN or deadline sale.
What you're saying is that you had a non-price strategy. If you're changing from auction, put a price on the property. Price it.
The price, because it has a dramatic change in the marketplace from no price to price. See, I heard of an auction last night that got very, very close, and they went with PBN after the auction. I'm like, no, put the price out there. Let the price do what it's got to do in the marketplace, and the vendors can see that the market hasn't responded to their price.
Yes.
So move fast, have courage, be at your words, collaboration with your vendors, and deal with it after week 1 of the campaign, and don't be soft.
But as well, it comes down when you're doing the listing presentation and you're going through the possible method of sales. You discuss auction, you discuss negotiation, you discuss price. Now, if the auction is the way that we're going forward, we got to talk about what could happen throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
The benefit of an auction, regardless if it doesn't sell under the hammer. Because then if you get to the position 1 week into the campaign, and yes, we had no one, Mr. Vendor, we talked about this. This is the process, and the process will take care of itself.
The law of anticipation.
Exactly. So if you tell them before and then it happens, there is no nasty surprises. If you're going to say that everything is going to be rosy and we're going to sell under the hammer, and 2 weeks into we got 3 people at the open home only, you already lost the battle. And yeah, you're going to change it, and the whole thing is going to be a little bit more problematic, right? Now, I'm a strong believer as well that in this market, changing on a weekly basis is not a bad thing. It's not about dropping in price 20 grand every week. You got to change the method of sale or the marketing, obviously photography, the tagline and all of that. But you got to have all of those conversations in advance so that when you change it on a weekly basis, because what Einstein said, expecting the same results by doing the same thing is insanity, right? Well, once you start changing things on a weekly basis, they're not seeing you like, why are we changing so much? We talked about that at the start of the campaign. That's why we do a review meeting, a strategy meeting, a before it's too late meeting. That's what I call my 3rd week meeting on Zoom. So they know that all of that is happening along the way. And when it's happening, they might have some reservation, but they're easy to answer because it's like, you remember when we discussed, this is what we are doing, and we are doing it. And you got to preempt it, the art of anticipation. Still a best podcast to date, I reckon.
Well, and because the vendors understand how tough it is out there. So as long as you're trying, they're going, great. My agent still has hope, still has belief. So yes, move fast. Have courage to change.
So 79. What's after 79? You're good with math.
Well, they call it the Gandhi. 80, because Gandhi was 80, right, when he passed away, a famous man. So for our Gandhi edition, we're putting it out there to our listeners. We want you to reach out on the podcast, get in touch with us, let us know what you want us to talk about next week. And the winner, we're going to give a bottle of Dom Perignon.
That's not cheap, is it?
No, it's not. Reassuringly expensive. So a bottle of champagne, French champagne, to the episode that we talk about, and we'll give you a shout out. Fair enough?
This episode comes out on a Monday. We're recording on a Tuesday. So you got Monday, you got today to email either myself or Aaron or through our social media. There's many ways to find us. And by Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock when we're recording this,
Yes.
so you basically got 24 hours to tell us what the topic should be. And you get a, well, how much is that? That would be in the hundreds of dollars,
Well, it's
isn't
just
it?
under $500, but not to. Anyway.
All right then, somebody, well, look, you'd be a fool not to send us a couple of topic suggestions, right?
Beauty. See you on episode 80, Diego.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao, in his words.